It's October 29th, 2019, and we're about to learn about wisdom if we can. Alright, Proverbs 29. Whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be destroyed beyond recovery. When the godly are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked are in power, they groan. The man who loves wisdom brings joy to his father, but if he hangs around with prostitutes, his wealth is wasted. A just king gives stability to his nation, but one who demands bribes destroys it. To flatter a friend is to lay a trap at their feet. Evil people are trapped by sin, but the righteous escape shouting for joy. The godly care about the rights of the poor, the wicked don't care at all. Mockers can get a whole town agitated, but the wise will calm anger. If a wise person takes a fool to court, there will be ranting and ridicule, but no satisfaction. The bloodthirsty hate blameless people, but the upright seek to help them. Fools vent their anger, but the wise quietly hold it back. If a ruler pays attention to liars, all his advisors will be wicked. The poor and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives sight to both of their eyes, to the eyes of both. If a king judges the poor fairly, his throne will last forever. To discipline a child produces wisdom, but a mother is disgraced by an undisciplined child. When the wicked are in authority, sin flourishes, but the godly will live to see their downfall. Discipline your children, and they will give you peace of mind, and will make your heart glad. When people do not accept divine guidance, they will run wild. But whoever obeys the law is joyful. Words alone will not discipline a servant. The words may be understood, but they are not heeded. There is more hope for a fool than for someone who speaks without thinking. A servant pampered from childhood will become a rebel. An angry person starts fights. A hot-tempered person commits all kinds of sin. Pride ends in humiliation, while humility brings honor. If you assist the thief, you only hurt yourself. You are sworn to tell the truth, but you dare not testify. Fearing people is a dangerous trap, but trusting the Lord means safety. Many seek the ruler's favor, but justice comes from the Lord. The righteous despise the unjust. The wicked despise the godly. Verse 4 says, a just king gives stability to his nation, but one who demands bribes destroys it. As the ruler of a nation, I would expect that person to feel responsible for things to play out fair, for people to enjoy peace of mind, that their belongings are respected. And if theft happens, or an unjust act happens, and that ruler is then also asking for a bribe for him to take action, then the king is stealing from them too. Of course, the people won't stand for that. I wouldn't stand for a leader. Verse 5 says, to flatter friends is to lay a trap for their feet. So if you happen to flatter a friend and they fall in it, I would hope that you would be gracious enough to let it slide, to set them free of that trap, because you're the one that set it up for them. You set them up. Verse 7. The godly care about the rights of the poor. The wicked don't care at all. And I want to say that godly people are just expressing that the poor are people as well. Poor people, rich people, we're all human beings. We all deserve to be treated with dignity, no matter our circumstances. That's very important. But the wicked don't care at all. A wicked person, a wicked heart, is going to see them and treat them like trash because of how they look, what their circumstances are. They don't care if at one point, maybe they don't even realize that that could happen to them. That what they don't care to think about, what if the situation was reversed? We don't know the circumstances of life of other people. So it behooves us. It's good for humanity. It's good for this world, for us to see people as another human being that deserves dignity and respect, no matter their financial circumstance. Verse 11. Fools vent their anger, but the wise quietly hold it back. So we've all had that moment where we've lost our temper and we've said things that we don't really mean. But once we've said it, it's out there, it's on the world. Whoever you were speaking to has now received that energy, and it's very difficult to take it back. It takes a very humble person on the other side to accept that you didn't mean it, and you guys can just move past the situation. But most of the time, it's something that trust has to be regained, and it's not a good time. Verse 16. When the wicked are in authority, sin flourishes, but the godly will live to see their downfall. Of course we'll live to see their downfall. Our God is the great defender. Verse 17. Discipline your children and they will give you peace of mind and will make your heart glad. Discipline them, correct them, guide them in the right direction. They will give you peace of mind. They will make your heart glad, of course, because when you do that, even if they don't listen, they know that you're there for them. They know that you put time and effort and love into raising them, into being there for them. So they might not like it all the time, of course, because who likes to be wrong? But man, will it work out in the end for their benefit. They'll actually take in, even though it seems like they're not listening. Just be there for them. Guide them, correct them, even though it's uncomfortable. Now, actions speak louder than words, right? We have to be an example. We have to act appropriately. We have to take action in our lives to be an example for those that come behind us, those that serve us, those that we have responsibility for. And verse 19 expresses that pretty well as well. Words alone will not discipline a servant. The words may be understood, but they are not heeded. To that, I'd also like to give the perspective. It helps me, I don't know, I hope it helps you, that it's not the same thing to understand the concept versus being able to apply a concept. Verse 20. There is more hope for a fool than for someone who speaks without thinking. I want to say that, to me, that applies directly to conversation, to taking other people into consideration. The fool is noticeable because they might say something completely stupid, illogical, and maybe even disrespectful. But the tone, the demeanor is noticed, and the energy received isn't the same as somebody that is just speaking without thinking. And the last verse I'd like to discuss for tonight is 25. Fearing people is a dangerous trap, but trusting the Lord means safety. That, to me, speaks of how you take your actions in this world. Do you act because you fear what people may say of you? Because you fear what the consequences of not listening to other people might be? Or do you trust in God to take your actions? Do you trust in the Lord? There's a subtle but vast difference. And it all comes down to integrity, in my opinion, in my perspective. People don't always see you, but God always sees you. So I invite you, as always, to build a relationship with God, to allow Jesus Christ be your guide day in and day out, to search and experience for yourself. Thank you.